it's Sandra from VSI or Voice Skills Inc. and today we're excited to present A Few Minutes in Voice, where we give you the latest news in voice technology, interview some of the industry experts, and review some skills on the Alexa Skills Store. So let's get started. This past month was South by Southwest, where we saw that voice was everywhere. Bose was integrating Alexa and Google Home into their sunglasses, and LG was looking to give you the power to choose whether you wanted Alexa or Google Home. Now, I don't know who attended South by Southwest, but if you saw some pretty cool things, be sure to let us know. We were fortunate enough to interview one of the industry experts in voice technology who was recently named Alexa Executive of the Year, Noelle LaCharite. Here at VSI, we're starting up our first YouTube channel, and we're hoping that you could share a little bit about who you are as our first guest.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. It's really exciting. I think, first off, of course, I'm Noelle LaCharite. I have been really passionate about the voice and conversational AI space for quite a few years now. I started my career in AI over at Amazon Alexa, and really just got kind of interested and excited about the opportunity that was available and just creating a new way of talking, right, and communicating to our software. And then from there, I spent a few years there doing that work, getting very excited. Spent a couple years in the natural language engine part of Alexa, like really understanding the machine learning modeling side. And then I started to think like, voice is awesome, but maybe voice isn't the only thing we can do to augment people's experiences. And so I started to entertain kind of looking at other additional mechanisms. So I went over to Microsoft. Microsoft has about 30 different AI models that you can use, which are, it's incredible. So now in addition to voice, I can also, use my voice to change visuals on a screen or launch applications, or like it really extends like, yes, of course I love voice, but what could I use my voice to do? And, Microsoft being a huge productivity organization, how can I use that to help people be more productive? So that's kind of where I spend my days today, is helping developers understand and learn more about how to leverage both Alexa and really any voice technology in combination with applied AI machine learning models.
Oh, that is awesome. So on that note, can you tell us a little bit, kind of like with where you're at today, where you potentially see voice in the next 2 to 5 years?
Yeah, absolutely. So I spend a lot of my time talking to executives and engineers, leaders in this space around voice, around conversational AI, but really around AI in general. And what I see today, it is like, well, I mean, I have 4 children, right? My youngest is like 2 and 4. I watch them like pick up my phone, open it up, and then I watch them like press this magic button, the microphone button. They speak to my phone and like magic happens, right? Like it's amazing. They can launch YouTube, they can play whatever videos they want. They don't need to know how to really type in anything. All they need is their voice. And so I kind of see that, fast forward 10 years when they're teenagers or 20 years when they're moving into the workforce, they're going to have this innate expectation that they can use their voice to do things. And so I see us over the next 2 to 5 years really just educating the world's companies that you need to start doing this now, because we have a huge sea of young kids that are being trained to use their voice every day. And so we need to start changing the way we build software, the way we build user experiences in companies to meet them where they are when they are ready to start becoming customers.
Yes, no, I completely agree. I mean, you see your kids, but I definitely see like my mom and my grandparents. They also
Yeah.
use voice because they're like
Yeah. Same thing.
figuring
Yeah.
out where to see on the screen is a little too hard.
Right. Right. Yeah. That's
So,
right. That
so
kind
I
of,
always think on
yeah.
that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Why can't I just
anyways,
say what I want? Yes.
right, exactly. And they're like, huh, how do you work this thing? So anyway, so you're really involved in the artificial intelligence space and the AI. So I know you've kind of like been working in both environments. So can you tell us a little bit maybe where you see AI or artificial intelligence integrating in this voice landscape that is up and coming, but so is the world of AI?
Yeah, so I think we've spent, I think it's a little bit ironic that I now work for Microsoft, which is the company that taught the world Windows and buttons and menus and drop
Mm-hmm.
downs. And now we are really leading from a thought leadership perspective, leading this idea of like, well, maybe we don't need any of that, right? Maybe we can just use our voice to navigate software and execute tasks. So I really see, part of like the future, part of how, part of the only way we're going to get there is really re-educating like the workforce. So I think there's some kind of false information going around like, oh my gosh, AI might replace your jobs, or AI might, cause some concerns in the workplace. But really, it's all about opportunity and augmentation. And wouldn't it be great if like that 30% of your day that you spend doing stuff you don't want to do, that's mundane and routine, could AI help you no longer have to do that and free up your time to do the things you want to do, right? If you are like in HR, you are in HR because usually you like humans and you want to talk to them. You don't want to spend 30% of your day, or 40 or 50 in some cases, checking email and responding to the same redundant questions all the time. You want to be in the conversations that help grow your employees, that help them feel like they're part of a community. So this is just one perspective, but all of our fields are like this. We all have a part of our role in our day-to-day that we can actually leverage certain AI models to help us do better, so that we free up more of our day to do the things that we are passionate about. That increases things like our happiness quotient at work, which ultimately ends up increasing the productivity of the company, and everybody wins, right? Our customers win because they have great software they can use. Employees win because they work on things that they're passionate about instead of these routine tasks. So I really see kind of the longer future of AI is we have to remind people that, yeah, I know we all watch those movies, and I personally have read many, many science fiction books. They don't all end well. But the actual reality is that these models are really helping more people every day. They're helping people who could never use technology be able to talk to software and get the help and task and process actions that they need, right? So like people who can't use a phone or can't use a keyboard, maybe they're in a wheelchair, or maybe they're cognitively delayed and they, can't put those pieces together, but they can talk and they can use their voice. How do we open the world to them? And I do think that that's kind of the future, is like, how do we get those millions of people to be able to participate in a bigger and even broader way in the world?
Exactly. No, I completely agree. And I can't wait to see that future, what the future holds. And, as the AI becomes more integrated in voice, I'm sure we'll see some pretty exciting developments and hopefully increase
Yes,
our productivity like,
that's right.
and
That's right.
happiness.
Everybody
I'm all
wants to
about.
do more in less time, so it's so much
Right.
better, right? I know so
Yes.
many small examples where we've been able to show people, like, rather than have to click 5 times to get to something, that's the difference between bots that like are really useful and bots that people never use again. It's like a bot that answers that question of like, what do I need to do every day, but I have to click 5 times to get to? If you create a voice app that solves that problem, like that bot wins every time, right? Because I
Exactly.
don't need anything fancy. I don't need anything new. I just want to do what I every day in less time. And if I use my voice, it's even cool on top of all of that. So,
Yeah,
so
because
those,
we all want to multitask, right?
that's right. Exactly. We want to be like talking, saying something to one thing while typing on something else. Yeah, full control. But yeah,
Yes.
those delightful experiences that really kind of move the needle for companies, as opposed to building, an application that nobody will ever use again. And usually that's because we don't talk or communicate to our customers, right? We don't ask them, what do you want? And this data is readily available. We know what people want to do on a website. We know it's hard for them to do on a website. So I always tell companies, like, start right there. Start with that one thing, that minimum remarkable thing, and make that your initial product.
Yeah. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to us here at VSI, and we'll definitely be in touch.
Absolutely.
And,
It's always great
we're
to talk.
excited to have you as our first guest.
Yay.
All
Thanks for
right.
having me.
Take care. Bye.
Thanks, Noelle, for sharing such exciting information with us. Now, before we get any further, let's see what skills have come out on the Lexus Skill Store. One of my recent favorites that I recently discovered was Space Dust. Now, I thought Space Dust was pretty cool because it allowed you to mix up the images in your living room. So let's check it out. Alexa, start Space Dust.
This picture is a space station silhouette on the moon. What's that unusual spot on the moon? It's the International Space Station. Using precise timing, the Earth-orbiting space platform was photographed in front of a partially lit gibbous moon last month. The featured image was taken from...
So as you can tell, space does gives you some pretty cool images. Be sure to check it out, because I think it gives you some reason to start a conversation on space. Well, if you enjoyed today's session, let us know and be sure to give us your feedback on any questions you may have on where Alexa or Google Home might be headed. Because at VSI, we're passionate about expanding your brand with voice and are proud to be the leading expert in Alexa skill creation and Google Actions.